What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Hello Luxury, and welcome to the Rick Owens rotation, the series where we are adding to the rotation. And today we've got two pieces to look at here. A really cool short sleeve shirt, but it is like dress shirt fabrication in cotton, classic Rick Owens black. It's got a really nice neckline as well. You may be saying, it's a little bit boring, isn't it? Well, no, because this is going in the rotation. It's everyday wear. It makes sense to be a little bit simple, but I hear you. I understand the complaints, and that's why we've got a second piece here, because this is a leather scuba jacket hoodie. As you can see, we got a little bit of a hood there. Yeah, this piece is sick. So we're gonna pair these together, take a close-up look at both of them, then we'll try them on, tell you how they feel, how they fit, and speaking of fits, we'll put a fit together with them. So let's dive in. And make sure you sub to the channel, and also check the description for links to all these great sites where you can get Rick Owens, all sorts of other stuff, get some discounts on it. Let's go. All right, so first up we have got our shirt, and this one is way cooler than meets the eye, I think. You can already see, I mean, it looks like a t-shirt essentially, but it has a bit of a tunic shape to it as well, the way it comes out like that. And you can probably already see on camera, the fabrication is very different from your normal t-shirt. But let's take a look inside this thing first. So at the back of the neck, we actually have the button closure, which is really cool, and we'll talk about a bit more soon. We actually have to go lower than that to get the classic Rick Owens kind of landing strips here. And we can see here that you've got the script logo on the left. That means it's mainline. And then on the right, we can see the collection. And this is Spring Summer 17, which was Walrus. And I believe this is actually the first Walrus piece that we're getting to take a look at on this show. So that's kind of exciting in and of itself. And then the care tags are actually in an interesting place here. Most shirts, they'll put them on the side seam, but Rick Owens occasionally will put them right down the back because he often puts back seams in. So you can see that right there in that seam going down the back. Of course, it's on this piece of fabric right here that Rick always puts his tags on. And you can also see that by now, 2017, Rick has moved on to using these kind of like glossy plastic tags. You've got the script logo right up top, then a nice bold model number and sizing. This is a size small. We'll definitely be talking about that a little bit later. Color, black, of course, and our composition, which is 100% cotton. All the way down at the bottom, we find out that this is made in Italy. No surprises there. So we see that this is made of cotton, and let's talk a little bit more about that. So you can see, when I'm touching, you can probably even hear it too. This is not your normal t-shirt. This is really, really dress shirt fabrication. And you can see this hem right here. It's a very long hem that's probably, I don't know, what is that? 2.5 inches right there. And that's folded over double. And then the body is very simple. You've got some short sleeves here, quite short and quite tight as well in classic Rick Owens fashion. And then you get this neckline. So it's almost like a mock neck here, because you can see a normal t-shirt would pretty much end right here at this stitch, but you get basically like an extra inch right there at the top that kind of sits right on top. So it's almost like a Mandarin collar without the button down, because the closure, as we saw, is in the back. And that is right here. So it's basically like a backwards shirt, because normally you'd expect this to be the front. You'd see a quarter button right there, and then the neckline and everything, but this actually all happens at the back of your neck. You've got 2 button closures, nice and simple right here, and then you've got the 2 landing strips. You can see the back side of those, and this one big seam going all the way down to the bottom. It's actually got a really, really cool cut, and I think there's a lot more to this piece than meets the eye at first glance. And then we've got the real star of this episode, I would say, which is this leather jacket, and I think this thing is just absolutely sick in every way. So before we get too deep into details, let's again take a look at the inside of this one. So this right here is a much older piece than the last one we looked at. You can see we don't have anything at the back of the neck here, and we also don't get a collection name. What we do get is the script logo embroidered into the lining, and in later seasons, he would start stitching in this season and collection name as well. But here it's just left at Rick Owens, and that's it. And that shows you that this is a pretty old piece right here. And then the question is, where are the care tags? Well, we do have a zipper right here, and it's a pretty big one as well. Nice metal zipper. If we undo that and take a look inside, we got them right there. And now we really get an idea of how old this is, because we can see It's distributed by Olmar and Myrto, which is what it was called before Rick Owens bought it and called it Owens Corp. And this is just a very old style tag. Even the numbers and everything here look really, really odd and just kind of not like you'd expect to see them now. We can see this is a size 50, which is crazy talk. We'll get into that later. The color code is actually still the same as always. 09 is black still, as we saw in that last piece. And what is our fabrication? So the outside is in a lamb leather, 100% lamb leather. Believe it, it's super, super soft. And the lining is rayon, body lining, cotton. The ribbing details are virgin wool, so that's our sleeves and stuff like that. So quite a lot going on and a lot of really, really fine fabrications here. So this piece is just absolutely awesome. You can see it's got the asymmetric zip going up here. So it starts centered at the bottom, then goes up here and off to the side of the neck, kind of like the famous mountain pieces that you're still used to seeing from Rick Owens today. I really love how the leather has this really nice sheen to it. It's just a bit glossier than your normal leather. We've got pockets at each side with these snap buttons to hold them shut. Let's take a look at our zipper here. So nowadays the zippers are Rick Owens branded, but back at this point in time, he was using Ricogni zippers. As we mentioned, we do get ribbed cuffs here for the sleeves, so those grab you nice and tight. And then, of course, we have the Scuba hood. So this thing is wild. As you'll see, video pictures do not do it justice. So this zips up, right? You've got a whole big extra layer here that kind of comes out. So this grabs you right up to your chin up here. So this covers your whole neck, kind of like a turtleneck. And then this hood grips to your head really, really tight. You can see there's not much space in there for your head. So that's really just face. And that's about it. So it's not like a normal hoodie shape by any means whatsoever. And as we've already seen, this thing is fully lined, really nice. And as we're going to see very shortly, it is very slim as well. All right, so now we've taken a close-up look at these pieces. It is time to try them on, but we've got to throw the rest of the fit together, right? So we already have our shirt, like undershirt and jacket sorted. So what does that leave us to figure out? We've got pants and shoes, and I think we're good. And I've got a couple ways to go with this. So for the pants, we already know that Rick Owens is still a fan of the skinny jeans, even though they're not so much in style anymore, and I appreciate him for that. So we're going to go with a pair of skinny jeans right here from Alexander McQueen. Black on black, always good. Plus the red stripe, adding a bit of color, a bit of pop, I think will be super helpful. It also has a bit of glossiness that matches really well with that leather, as you can see. And then we also know that Rick Owens loves himself some Converse. He's did it with the Ramones. He's done it with the Ramones and obviously collaborations with them. But he's also a fan of fur, as you can see from lots of sneakers he's done, but also collaborations with Montclair, things like that. So I figured let's combine his love of Converse and his love of fur. And right here, some of you are not going to be happy about this. We have got the Converse X Ambush Chuck Taylor Fuzzies. That is what these are called. They are called the Chuck Fuzzies. You can see the Converse logo in there. So, yeah, that's our look. It's going to be wild. Let's throw this together. All right, this look is definitely extra, but also works at the same time. I'd be totally happy going out in this. Let's talk about fit first and foremost. And we've got to start with the jacket since that's the most visible thing right here. This thing, it fits tight. It's tagged a size 50, which for most brands would be like a large. This thing fits like a slim small. I am like a small medium, and it is slim on me. When it's open, not zipped, you can't really notice. It seems like it fits about like a normal small. Once you get it zipped up and everything though, it is very, very slim, really narrow as well. But it does totally fit, and it feels really, really comfortable. I like that cotton lining as well, and the virgin wool cuffs are incredible. You'll also note, as you can see, the hood, like I said, not a normal hoodie. This is scuba fit. It is very fashion, and by fashion I mean weird. So don't buy this thinking you're just going to get a normal hoodie leather jacket, because that is not what this is. And how about the fit on the shirt underneath? Well, this one, it fits much closer to true to size. It is tagged as small and it fits about like that, but as with most Rick Owens things, it is on the tight side in the shoulders and like back area, upper back, at least for me. I'm pretty broad shouldered for a size small, so I always feel a bit of extra tightness for Rick Owens pieces up in that area. The feel of this though is awesome. I've never really had like a t-shirt made out of dress shirt material, but it totally works. Since it doesn't have the same stretch as like a jersey cotton, it's really important to have those buttons at the back of the neck, so I found getting it on and off was no problem whatsoever. And why are these getting added to the rotation? Well, I am a sucker for leather jackets. I grew up in the punk scene, so it's kind of a seminal look for me. So it's always important that I add those to the collection, and Rick Owens makes some really good leather jackets that you can usually get for really, really good prices. And as for the undershirt, it's really more that I like having a rotation of kind of like quote unquote dress shirts to go to, but I don't like just like a normal dress shirt because that's super boring. So I like to have some weirder options out there, and I like the idea of having this in-between t-shirt, dress shirt. I just think that's really, really sick. So I hope you enjoyed that. That was the Rick Owens rotation. Take a look at the other video on screen here, subscribe to my channel, like this video, and I'll see you next time.